If he has not regained his senses by the time he rejoins my training, his return will be a short and painful one. Ah, our bloodthirsty interlopers. You fight again. This time, daggers only. And to the death, as instructed. An interesting proposition. Every bit of waste I trim away brings us closer to victory against the Kethk infesting these lands. The illithids infecting this region are not to be reasoned with. They are to be exterminated. Shook! Your pathetic intervention spoke for itself. Only a lesser creche would indulge such lenience. Yes. Let's see how Val fares against the skills of a lesser creche. I hope you do not prove this weak should we share a battlefield, Rastil. Did you enjoy our little demonstration? A mere taste of the power Vlaakith commands. Ah, a true warrior's kill. Quick, bloody, and a scream to curdle the stomach juices of Vlaakith herself. Quicker! A Kethk would have smeared you across the floor by now. Chook! Do not dare speak of that postulant poet in my training room. You are well on your way to being Kethk food. Do better! I am a humble blade tasked with carving out an army. Another who lacks the nerve? It seems Val's idiocy is contagious. What is it? These insufferable interruptions are distracting from my lessons. Kethk! We are training to fight Kethk. You think they will hesitate? The name pollutes the very air expelled in its uttering. You? Tuskva. My students do not waste their time fighting such weaklings. That Cain-Char poet is no more tolerated in my training room than a Kethk would be tolerated on Vlaakith's throne. I've heard reports that Kethk are operating here on an unprecedented scale. They must not be allowed to gain a foothold. Yes, a demonstration may be just what's needed. Vlaakith Gorg Shkathza! Cowards are not tolerated in our ranks, though I gather they are welcome in yours. Pavrilk! Stop this insufferable whining! You dropped your guard on your weak side and were completely open to an offhand counter. But as we seem so intent on doing things differently today, why not? I hope you prove as weak as this should we meet on the battlefield, Istik. Gillik. Kill him and put us all out of our misery. Did they do things so differently when you were a hatchling? The hatchlings live to serve Vlaakith, or they do not live at all. I hear they have been gathering nearby in greater numbers than usual. Strike hard! Slice flesh! No hesitation! This is only a taste of the mercy a Kethk would show you. Precisely. The foe he spares may be the one to rise up and tear out your gullet. Kethk! When you have a chance to kill your enemy, you take it. I must attend to my students. Be on your way. I will find out if Val has truly succumbed to the vile canker of that heretic's words. There are whispers of Kethk gatherings in unusual numbers nearby. They are not here to negotiate. I do what is necessary and no worse than our enemies would do. Their potential may not be apparent to your untrained eye, but my methods never fail to extract it. And yet here you are, pathetically pleading for the same useless mercy. I suppose your inane spewings have distracted enough from my lesson. Take a dagger, stranger. This exercise requires nothing more than a blade and a backbone. We will eradicate them, Rastil, and when we do, you will be grateful our warriors are so carefully chosen. It is up to them to deliver on this potential. They know the punishment if they fail. I will rectify his behavior, swiftly and painfully. But that is for the Kithrak to worry about. My job is to forge the blade, not to decide how it is wielded. A ridiculous notion. No student of mine would be permitted to indulge such heresies. Perhaps a tadpole has already addled your brain. Is that it? If the boy was too stupid to realize this, his death is a mercy for the warriors next to him. Yet another staggering display of incompetence. Mercy is death, death is mercy. This is Vlaakith's will. Move him out of the way. We've wasted enough time already. One bad egg does not reflect the true power of Kethk. There are signs that the Geik presence here goes beyond their usual predation. They are converging on something. For his sake, I hope it was a moment of temporary insanity. What are you waiting for? Begin! Our wars are waged against Geik, not bandits and petty thieves. Stay out of this, Istik. They need to learn what happens when they fail to follow orders. Chook! Not just a coward, but a heretic too. This is how we deal with a weakened enemy. If I am not convinced of his loyalty to our glorious queen, then I will cure him. Silence! It seems your childish prattling is attracting an audience. Did you enjoy our little demonstration? A mere taste of the power Kethk commands. You will learn this firsthand, Istik, when we finally come to claim it for our own. Your disobedience brings shame on Kethk. Your demonstration was most impressive, so we ensure that in our ranks there are no mistakes. Who wants to challenge this sniveling Istark? This is no concern of yours. I'm simply demonstrating what happens when we fail to follow orders. My students earn the most silver swords of any creche under Vlaakith's command. Ah, our bloodthirsty interloper. Why didn't you make the kill? My instructions were clear. Shocky! Why do you keep hesitating? My instructions were clear. Our warriors must possess strength and skill far superior to any spawn from this putrescent plane. The slightest mistake, the smallest hesitation, and you die. The warrior next to you dies, 100 more behind them. There should be plenty of heads for my students to take when their final test begins. I have no interests in whatever delusional beliefs the boy harbored. Go wet the swords. I want them sharp enough to peel a Geik's eyeball just by looking at them. I wouldn't expect an Istik to understand. On this plane, inadequacy is expected.